Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also, share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there. Follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Now, with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about rumors swirling surrounding Zach Wilson and his possible trade value. We're going to be talking about that, man. ESPN came out with some things. They had an article where they were speaking about some executives and some coaches as well around the league assessing Zach Wilson's trade value and what the New York Jets could possibly get if, because it's not a definite, but if they decide to move Zach Wilson and send him to another team. Now, again, people are talking about the possible trade value, what Zach Wilson could be worth on the open market, what they could get for him, to try to recoup some capital here. And what ESPN did was they hit up some executives, they hit up some coaches as well. I believe it was 2 assistant coaches and some personnel executives from around the league, so they're outside of the New York Jets, foundation, right? And they sat down and tried to speak with these people about their evaluations of Zach Wilson, and it was crazy. One of the personnel that they talked to from around the league said that he thought that the New York Jets could ask for something in day 3. He also went on to say they could get a 7th round pick if they're lucky. If they're lucky, all right? That's what he said. Now, one of the assistant coaches that they asked from around the league about Zach Wilson and what they could do, if the New York Jets were to try to trade him to a team, what his value could be. The assistant coach said, I would give up a 2-week stay at the Best Western. I'm not a fan. A 2-week stay at the Best Western. Wow. Another coach said that he could see the New York Jets possibly trying to seek maybe a 2025 conditional pick for Zach Wilson if they were to try to send him to another team, just to get something. But pretty much overall, right? It was assessed that the value is extremely low, next to nothing. You're basically going to get a half-drinking Gatorade and, a corner bag of an open bag of chips. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get like a couple chips and a half-drinking Gatorade for Zach Wilson. You're not going to get much. Went on to kind of talk about how the arm strength from Zach Wilson is intriguing, right? But everything else is it's so up and down and it's not consistent that they couldn't really see a team giving up quite a bit, especially, again, the guy hasn't really stamped himself to be a starter in this league. There were flashes this year. As we all know, the Chiefs game was one of the bigger flash moments this year, but it's so up and down and inconsistent that there's no way a team would give up big capital for Zach Wilson, which I agree at this point, right? Another focal point as well when you're trying to move Zach Wilson is his contract. As we all know, he's coming up. He's still old. I think it's $5 million and some change, which is guaranteed. But overall, he'll make about $11.1 million. Even if you trade him, that's going to be tough to negotiate with the team as well. So you're going to end up eating a lot of that. All right. Now, all of these things are swirling surrounding Zach Wilson. A lot of people talking about the New York Jets moving on for him and trading him. And I understand that. And I spoke with people about this as well, I don't think the New York Jets are going to get much capital for him. And I really don't think that there's a big market for Zach Wilson. But for some reason, and I want you folks to comment down below. I want to hear from y'all. Tell me if you think I'm crazy, okay? For some reason, I believe the New York Jets won't trade Zach Wilson. I don't think they will. Not only because they're not really going to get any capital from him, but because I believe the New York Jets want to give Zach Wilson a chance behind Aaron Rodgers if he's open to it, okay? I think they want to try to give him another 2 years behind Aaron Rodgers to get his stuff together. And at some point, again, We'll see if he can position himself, play solid enough to really be the starting quarterback for the New York Jets. And here's how I think they're going to get it done. I have a feeling that what they're going to try to do is give him an extension like the Packers did Jordan Love, bring his cap number down so that it makes sense for the Jets. And again, Zach Wilson has to agree to this, and I'll talk about it from his side of the table as well, why this is beneficial to him. I think they'll try to give him an extension for at least maybe 2 more years, bring his cap number down, and sit him behind Aaron Rodgers, because we all know Aaron's going to be here at least a year, 2 more years, and give him a chance to establish himself as the Jets starter, which will bode well if it works out and he pans out. It'll bode well for this regime because they drafted him. Okay? Now, if you look at Zach Wilson from his standpoint, why this will make sense for him, the worst of everything that can happen to you has already happened. But here you are in an offense, right, that your hero, Aaron Rodgers, has cooked up along with Nathaniel Hackett. Unless they all get fired, which again, if they all get fired and everything blows up, this is a completely different conversation. But if everything's good next year and there's improvement, they're going to be here. It gives you a chance to sit in this offense and stew in the offense for another 2 years, right? Which would give you a leg up, because what I think they're going to do as well is bring in a veteran QB, make Zach Wilson the third, just like they were trying to do this past year. Have him sit down, really soak up everything that's going on, and then they'll give him a chance. And if you're Zach Wilson, that bodes well for you, because if you go out into the wilderness with the rest of these teams, you're not going to get that type of love at all. There's no team in the league that I think that he can go in and beat any of the guys to really be a starter. I don't see it. I know people were talking about the Commanders. I know Jacoby Brissett's I think he's coming up on free agency, but even if Jacoby Brissett, stays with the Commanders, even if he was their starter, he wouldn't be able to beat Jacoby Brissett out with the Commanders. He wouldn't be able to do it. Not right now. Not enough, okay? But sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for the next 2 years will give you a leg up on any player that comes in there. You should be ready to go. And then you get your chance to really own New York the way that you want to. I think that would be big for Zach Wilson. And I think that he would be open to that. Unless he just wants to get out of here, he wants to leave, he's ready to go. That would be big for him. And for some reason, I think that that's what the New York Jets are going to do. I have no clue why, but I just got that feeling. All right? Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. What are your thoughts about the perceived value for Zach Wilson being in the toilet? What are your thoughts about my idea about the New York Jets possibly be looking to extend Zach Wilson 2 years to give him another chance to possibly be a starter and get his cap number down? Do you think that's a good idea? Do you think I'm crazy that I think that that's what is going to play out? Give me your thoughts. Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. You folks have a good one. Peace.